Hello YouTube, Bobby is Yoda here, and today I am bringing you my picks for week 4 of the 2020 NFL season. Last week was my worst week this season, by far. You can see the results on your screen right now. It was the first week this season where I've actually had a losing record, plus one of the games ended in a tie, so that really messed things up as well. It's also the first week where the random picker, last week that being Minecraft, beat me, and the first week where the random picker had a winning record. So I guess Minecraft actually can predict the winner of a football game. But this week, we're going to try something a little bit different. This week, we're going to be playing Blackjack with jumbo-sized playing cards. It's going to be a lot of fun, so strap in, get ready, because we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Wow. All right, everybody, this is how it's going to work for today. So we have our giant playing cards here, and we're going to be playing the regular rules of Blackjack. So each team, or each player in this case, would get 2 cards to start off. And the way that we're going to be representing it is we have the away team and we have the home team. So the way that this is going to work is they're going to be competing against each other. So for instance, 9 and 6 is 15, and we're going to be playing regular dealer rules that you can commonly find in many different places. We're going to continuously draw until we have 16, and once we have 17, we will stop drawing. So that's going to keep it fair, so both teams are playing by the same side. So in this case, 9 and 6 is 15. We draw 1, 25, this team would bust. Over here, we have 2 and 7 is 9, 19, they would hold, and in this case, whoever the home team is would end up winning that hand with 19 compared to the other one that busted. So that's how this is going to work, and let's begin. All right, so first up we have the Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets. Both teams are 0-3, so one of the teams is going to walk away 0-4, and the other team will at least get themselves a win unless there is a tie like there was last week. So I will show you how we're going to do this. We have the Denver Broncos starting off with the Jack, which is a 10. 10 and 5 is 15. They will hit, and the Denver Broncos apparently will bust. The New York Jets start with 8. Hit me to 12. Hit me again to 21. So in this case, we have Blackjack picking the New York Jets. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Chicago Bears. The Bears are the home team, and they are currently 3-0. They now have Nick Foles as their starting quarterback, so I'm personally going to go with the Bears. Let's see what Blackjack wants to pick for us. So starting off with the Colts, we have 8, and 9 is 17. Playing by these rules, they're going to stand. We have the Bears start off with a 3. Hit me 8 is 11. Hit it again, 16. And we keep going one more. And they have busted. So Blackjack is going with the Indianapolis Colts. All right, now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were the team last week that got themselves a tie against the Eagles, unfortunately. But you know what? I think that there's a chance. You know, Jacksonville Jaguars, they may be 1-2, but they are the away team and Cincinnati's at home. I think they might be able to actually pull it off. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. Blackjack, starting with the Jaguars, has a queen, which is 10. And another queen, which is 20. And one thing we're not going to do is doing any splits. We're just going to keep it with just the hand that they have. So they're going to stand at 20. And the Bengals start off with a jack of themselves. And an ace, which is Blackjack, ladies and gentlemen. So in this case, Blackjack is picking the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, so next up is the Cleveland Browns versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Browns finally have a winning record for the first time in numerous seasons. So congratulations to the Browns. Very good for you. But the Cowboys are the home team in this game, and they still should be the better team in this game. So I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. But starting off, we have the Cleveland Browns with a 6. Hit me. +4 is 10. Hit again. plus 10 is 20. So they're going to stand at 20. Cowboys are going to start off with the 7. Plus, this can be either 1 or 11. And in this case, it's going to be 11. But that would put it at 18. Versus they're over here standing at 20. So we're actually going to have the Cowboys switch this to a 1, with that being an 8. Plus 2 is 10. And they have busted. I'm pausing this video right now because when I was doing the editing, I realized that right here, I severely screwed up my math, when in fact it should have been a tie, which would have warranted me doing another hand. But you will see that going forward. I am going to go ahead and stay with the pick that I'm going to have in this next one, but just know, you see when I screw up, my bad. So Blackjack is actually going to go with the Cleveland Browns. All right, next up is the New Orleans Saints versus the Detroit Lions. The Saints, honestly, they should have a better record than 1-2. The Lions, yeah, honestly, that's pretty much about what I expected for the Lions. But that being said, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. I do think they are the better team, even though they are on the road. But who knows? Because Blackjack, starting with the Saints, starts them off with the King and 10. So Saints will stand at 20. Over here, however, the Detroit Lions start with a 6 and a 3, which is a 9. They will hit to 17. And playing by the rules, they stand once they hit 17. So the winner, according to Blackjack, should be the New Orleans Saints. All right, now we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Tennessee Titans. This game, they did say, will be delayed. It is not going to be played on Sunday because several Titans players have contracted the COVID. But if they do end up playing the game, because, you know, when you have 2, 3-0 teams playing, you do really want to see that game. But as good as Tennessee's record may be, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers if and when they eventually actually play this game. So Pittsburgh is going to start with a 4 and a 5, which adds up to 9. Hitting again is a 19, where they will stand. The Tennessee Titans start with a 4 and a 2, which is a 6. Hit again, they get a 3, which adds up to 9. Hit again is 16. One more because we hit on 16, and they have busted. So, just like my pick, Blackjack has chosen the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, now we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins may be the home team, but Seattle is on a roll this year. They are still undefeated at 3-0, so I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. Blackjack's going to start the Seahawks off with a 6 and a queen, which is a 16. We will hit, and they have busted. So let's see what Miami has to start off with. They start off with a king, and a 6 is a 16. Hitting again puts them at a 17, so they're actually going to go with the home team, the Miami Dolphins, over the Seattle Seahawks. I only have a couple cards left, so it's time to shuffle my deck. All right, that shuffling job might not have been the best, but you know what? That's what we're going to go with. So, starting off in the next game, we have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay with Tom Brady off to a pretty good start. They are 2-1. They are currently leading their division. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay in this game. But we're going to start off with the Chargers having a 5 and a king is a 15. We will hit. Plus 4 is a 19, where they will stand. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers start off with a 3 and a 5. So they will have 8. Hitting again is 18. By the rules, they will stop, which means we are going with the Los Angeles Chargers on the road, beating Tom Brady at home in Tampa Bay. All right, now we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Washington football team. The Ravens are the much better team. They did lose last week when I had them winning last week, but they lost to the team of Kansas City, where they actually have not beaten Kansas City. Lamar Jackson is 0-3 versus Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So that being said, I'm still going to go with the Baltimore Ravens because they are the much better team than Washington this year. So Baltimore is going to start off with a 6 and a 10, so that's 16. They will hit one more time, putting them at 18, where they will stand. Over here, Washington is going to start with a 7 and a 7, so that's 14. They will hit. 10 puts them over. They have busted, which means Blackjack is going with the Baltimore Ravens. All right, now we have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are doing so-so, but the Cardinals at 2-1 are actually doing pretty good. So I'm going to stay with them. I'm going to choose the Arizona Cardinals. Why not have a good season this season? So Arizona, according to Blackjack, is going to start with a queen and a jack, which is 20, where they will stand. Over here, however, the Carolina Panthers will also start with a queen and an ace, which means they have gotten Blackjack. They are victorious, according to Blackjack, going with the Carolina Panthers. All right, now we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Houston Texans. Much like the Thursday night football game, both of these teams are 0-3. And since both of these teams kind of suck, I'm going to go with the home team, Houston Texans, personally. Like I said, I do live in Texas, but I don't let that get in my way of picking who I think is going to win. But I do think the Houston Texans should win at home. They deserve a win. But we're going to start off with the Vikings having an 8 and a jack, putting them at 18, where they will stand. Over here, the Houston Texans start off with an ace and a 6, puts them at 17 or 7. We can continue to hit, but since they have an 18, they want to try to beat that. So they will hit again, putting them again at 17, where they are now forced to stand, which means we're going with the Minnesota Vikings, according to Blackjack. All right, now we have the New York Giants versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Giants, well, with Saquon Barkley out, they're pretty much in the hole. So I'm going to go with the home team, Los Angeles Rams. They do have the better record anyway. But starting off with the Giants, they do have an ace, and they have Blackjack. The only way that we can do this is if it's a tie. So we have a 2 for the Rams and a 6, putting them at 8. Hitting again, plus 4 is 12. Hitting again puts them over, which means we're going to go with the New York Giants on the road to get their first win of the season, if Blackjack is correct. All right, now we have the New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs. All I have to do is say, Kansas City, they're looking unstoppable this year. So I'm going to keep going with Kansas City. Hopefully they go to 4-0. But the Patriots will start with a 2 and a king, which is 12. Hitting again, 6 is 18, where they will stand. Kansas City has a 9 and an ace, which puts them at 20. They will defeat the New England Patriots, according to Blackjack, going with Kansas City Chiefs as well. All right, now we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bills are 3-0. It's very, very surprising. The Raiders are at home, though, and, they may have lost their last game, but I'm going to go with the home team, Las Vegas Raiders, this time. So Blackjack is going to start off with the Bills having a 3 and a 3, which gives them a 6. Hitting again, plus 8 is 14. Hitting again is 19, where they will stand. The Las Vegas Raiders will start with a 9 and a 9, putting them at 18, where they will be forced to stand. So, according to Blackjack, they're going to go with the Buffalo Bills on the road, wanting them to go 4-0, defeating the Las Vegas Raiders. I guess we'll see. Funny enough, this being Vegas, you'd think that they would have actually won Blackjack, but they didn't. So, how disappointing. All right, now we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are still dealt with a lot of injuries, but the Eagles were one of the teams last week that actually had that tie. And I hate ties in the NFL. I don't believe in ties in the NFL. So I'm just going to go with the San Francisco 49ers just out of spite, if anything else. But we're going to start with the Eagles having a jack and a queen, putting them at 20, so they will stand. The 49ers start with a 5 and an 8, putting them at 13. Hitting again is 17, where they are forced to stand, which means, according to Blackjack, they're going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, and our final team for today is the Atlanta Falcons versus the Green Bay Packers. The Falcons have blown lead after lead after lead. The Packers are looking really good, still undefeated, so I'm going to go with the home team, Green Bay Packers. Blackjack is going to start the Falcons off with a 9 and a 7, putting them at 16, where they will hit and they will bust. So the Packers start off with an 8 and a 10, where they're completely comfortable standing there considering they just busted, which means Blackjack is going with the Green Bay Packers. All right, everybody, so that is my picks for this week. So if you want to see how I did, go ahead and, as I say every week, you can watch the games or tune in next Thursday, where we can see my picks for week 5 and to see how these little jumbo playing cards playing a little blackjack did against my big old smart brain, which unfortunately was not very big and not very smart last week. But hopefully this week we can turn things around. So that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And if you wouldn't mind, please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more, because this is Bobby's Yoda signing off.